Hello, welcome back. I have been working on this sketchbook for 2 entire years. So today, we're going to be flipping through this absolute behemoth of a sketchbook that I started when I looked like this. As a freshman in college. I started this sketchbook in 2022. It is now 2025. Let's get started. You can see here, December 31st, 2022, and I finished it on January 4th, 2025. I've been working on this for over 2 years and I just finished it. This right here is a piece that I did on a separate sheet of paper that I later glued into the sketchbook because I just thought it fit nicely in here. It was from a Prismacolor sponsorship, actually. Then I have a bunch of stickers from my friends. I have little notes. These two are actually from Cassie Stevens. She is an art teacher on social media and I got to meet her twice at the National Art Education Association conference. And my roommate from sophomore year made me this. So cute, she drew me. This is from when Dan Povenmire came to give a lecture at my university, Miami University, and we also got to meet him afterwards. It was very cool.
A platypus? I found a brand new best friend, and it's her. It's Isabella.drawsss. That's her.
There's this picture of me from middle school with a mural I did. This is from my friend Chris, who I met at a conference. This is from my friend Laris, who I'm internet friends with. Just a lot of little mementos like that are going to be throughout this entire thing because I've kind of turned it into more of a scrapbook and a journal than a sketchbook towards the end, which you'll see. But this I stapled in there. This was a drawing on a separate sheet of paper, just hyper-realistic drawing of a crayon box, just a little close-up. And this little collage, I like this a lot. I used crayons and just glued a bunch of rainbow things together. I remember doing this one at my friend's New Year's party because I was feeling anxious for some reason, so I just needed to do something with my hands. I just started drawing with my pen, and I think I pulled up a tiger reference and then did the rest from my brain. Next page, completely switching mediums. I wanted to get good at acrylics, so I painted a portrait with acrylics for pretty much the first time in a long time. Turned out pretty realistic, I think. I remember really struggling with the water, but got a really cool texture to it. Unfortunately, the paint stuck to itself a little bit over here, so it's kind of torn up, but it kind of goes with the rest of the vibe, in my opinion. I remember seeing something on Pinterest of a watercolor painting that had the head open and had stuff coming out really imaginatively from it, but I had these little sticky notes and you could see some of them folded over themselves with time, I guess, after I Mod Podged them down. And then I made this drawing in 8th grade, that was 2017, and then I remade the drawing here in 2022 over Thanksgiving break just to see how much I'd improved. And even though here I used alcohol marker and here I used colored pencil, you can definitely see the improvement. It's kind of crazy. Over here, I went to my middle school art teacher's classroom and he had me do a printmaking demo, you know, just like carving into the linoleum block and then rolling on the ink with a brayer and then boop. So I demonstrated that real quick with just a little design I carved out in a couple minutes. Well, not a couple minutes, it was more like half an hour, but you know what I mean. And there's that same one again, and then I doodled around it. And I remember doing this over the course of a couple of days between classes freshman year. These guys are silly. I just wanted to do them while I was waiting for one of my classes to start. And then this was from spring semester of my freshman year. This is actually from my birthday in 2023. But these were sketches for my first ever intaglio print from my first printmaking class in college. Then over here, we've got more printmaking stuff. This was from figure drawing, just a bunch of stickers that I had nowhere else to put. And this is notes from a conference. You can see it's kind of becoming more of a journal than a sketchbook now. And then this was for my printmaking final. So what I did was I took this picture right here. It was really me drawing in middle school. And then I photoshopped me currently at that time into the picture to make it look like I was teaching my past self because I want to be an art teacher and teach middle schoolers when I grow up. And then I also scanned in some doodles that I actually did in middle school to put them in the background. And obviously you can tell I kind of got a little bit lazy with it and didn't end up etching all of the doodles into the plate before I printed. Yeah, I really like how this turned out. And then I remember I did these over the summer after freshman year. And then this page is kind of where it gets like super scrapbooky. So this actually is like a window. Vroom vroom. I brought this sketchbook to one of my field observations sophomore year. One of the students in one of the classes I was observing made her own little version of it, and I thought it was really sweet, so I put it in here. But I've just been collecting a bunch of little stickers, little cards. I wrote this little message for myself, put a receipt from years ago in there, some stickers. My high school ID from junior year of high school, so that's 4 years ago now, which is insane. I put a bunch of like swatch cards, wristband from public skating at the local rink, drawing from like 8th grade. That's crazy. Had to peep the whole Hello Kitty outfit. Dripped out. Mr. Bones, I remember in my field observation, my host teacher wanted me to just draw along with the kids, so I did, and she had this skeleton named Mr. Bones in her classroom, so I just drew him, and then the kids were asking me questions like, how do you know where to place stuff? And I was talking them through it as I was doing it, and I thought that was really cute. And this one, this little peekaboo, ta-da! I ended up putting a bunch of stuff on the other side, so like another skating wristband, a sticker, little Polaroid, more Polaroids, then my high school ID from senior year of high school. Yeah, 2022, I still looked like that. That's insane. Here, we've got some more sophomore year stuff. This was from my photography class. I was taking notes. Our professor was showing us how to use the photo studio and like work all of the equipment and everything. Then roommate left me a note. But this was the first iteration of my tattoo, actually. As I was deciding what I wanted to get, I ended up commissioning my friend to actually do my design. But that was when I was really just deciding, okay, this is what I want to do. And that's from a friend. Got more stickers from different friends. Friend River made me this fish in class. Got more stuff like movie ticket stub. I've got a bunch of stickers. Got this from class. And then I was commissioned by the Office of Transformational and Inclusive Excellence on campus to make this giant, basically, coloring page. So basically, students were going to come to this event and they were going to just paint in little sections as they stopped by. This is the final design of what I gave them, and then this is how they ended up painting it. And now it's hanging in the office, which is really cool. Really organic shapes, a bunch of layering. Then notes from the winter research workshop I attended on campus right before I started my undergraduate research stuff. And then this is where it gets like super journal-y, right? So I bought stickers from my friend Esther. She sent me a really sweet note. Just more notes from class. Even more notes from class here about the different theories of art education, and also more stickers, of course. Can't have too many stickers. Then here, this is actually from when I bought that neon green Billie Eilish sweatshirt in 2018 because I was ahead of the curve and I remember that this came with it. So I just put that in here. This is a doodle that I started in class that ended up becoming really complex. I would just doodle to keep myself engaged during lectures. This class was 3 hours long. I needed to be doing something, so this is a quote from one of the videos we watched in that class. Then this is from a lesson plan that I did a demo of for one of my classes. We came up with this lesson that would focus on like mass media, media culture, cultural appropriation, and image appropriation, how all those things are intertwined. And I ended up making it about my struggle with obsessive compulsive disorder. And then here I taught one of my professors how to blend with alcohol markers. And I was showing her how to layer all of them and everything. So that was really fun. Then in class, one of my friends at my table drew this and I was like, oh my gosh, can I keep it? And I did. And it had another bow, but that fell off, which is too bad. But she drew me so cute. And this is field observation notes that I'm going to blur out a little bit. I'm also gonna blur out right here the name of the schools that I was observing at because you also shouldn't know that probably. Here I ended up drawing an eye just because, you know, muscle memory, it's pretty easy just with the markers that the kids had at the table at one of my observations in my secondary methods class. And they're like, wow, how did you do that? That's so cool. So I showed them. And this was from a meeting. I just layer and layer and layer my notes and I really like how it turned out. You know, these two pages in conjunction I think are really cool. Then this, I took a relief printmaking class and the ink kept bleeding through my paper onto the newsprint that was protecting the blankets from the press from getting ink all over them. And it ended up turning out really cool because I was just putting the paper in pretty much the same spot every time. So this is just a bunch of layers of all of the ink bleeding through. But this is how the final print turned out. And then here I've got More flip ups, you know, fun. Notes from field botany, because I forgot my notebook that day. And this was also from different class, examining positionality. This was from trauma-informed pedagogy lesson that we also did in my secondary methods class. Made a little zine. This was me ideating what I was going to do for the cover for Ohio Art Line, which is the statewide publication for the Ohio Art Education Association. I was invited to design the cover, and I also had 2 different articles in that, and this is how the final thing turned out. But this was the process of just going through, like, I knew I wanted it to be a rip thing, but it ended up being completely different. And this is from a different video, just testing out the no bleed Ohuhu paper, which is cool. And then I drew on the back of it. Then meeting notes. And then here is from when I drove to Canada to go visit my friend Maddie. Hi Maddie, if you're watching this. Said she could give me a tattoo. We've been internet friends for 6 years, since I was like 14. And now that I have a car and also free will and I go to school closer to where she is, I was just able to drive for like 4 hours to go get my first ever tattoo from her. So that's once again this one. When I got there, she was like, hey Issa, I actually called into this radio show and won some tickets for The Price is Right live. So we ended up watching The Price is Right live from the 6th row at the casino, which is crazy. This is her business card. And this is from somebody who I met at a conference. And this is from another print that I ended up just doodling around for my printmaking class. This is from my friend and professor Libby. She is my printmaking professor, and then she graduated with her MFA in the spring. And this is from her thesis show. Really beautiful work. And this is a print that I created in her class that semester. Again, more printmaking work. Got this that flips up. And it's got a little printout of a meme that I made. You know, it's garlic bread. Hagar did what to this bread? Because licking, you know, haha. And then I actually ended up printing this design for my final on this pair of pants that I've been sewing patches onto and like reworking. And this is from lesson plan demos from my peers. So you know how I showed you the OCD collage from several pages ago? This is the outcome of me participating in my peers' lesson plan. So this is from my friend who did printmaking but with styrofoam. This is from my friend who did oil pastels. Really cool stuff. Here's a Polaroid that turned out really dark because I didn't know how to work the settings on my Polaroid camera with one of my internet friends. Hi Jess, if you're watching this. Then here, obviously, you remember that's from my pants as well. I just made another print and put it here. And this is from my artist residency over the summer. I went to France for 2 weeks and did my first ever artist residency, and it was really cool, and I ended up working on this mostly and also a different watercolor painting that's not in this sketchbook. But I'm really proud of this. I love all the texture. Like, this is all stippling and pointillism and everything. This is the card of another artist who was there. This is from an ad that I did with Sakura of America, and this actually glows. If you look at it real close like that, glows under UV light, which is really cool. And here's a bunch of my luggage tags and boarding passes and everything that I decided to draw on. And this, you're probably wondering, hey, what's that? Well, this is from one of my friends who was in a play called Foils and Fornication, a Founding Fathers fan fiction. And it was incredible. It was very good. Very good play. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Laughed really hard. Thank you, Vic, for inviting me to your beautiful play. Very good time. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Here's another meme that I made. This is a Northern Virginia hate page, if you weren't aware. I hate Northern Virginia. I'm from there, so I can say that. This is a print from freshman year, actually. A Shinkole technique print. And this is colored pencil drawing, of course. And this was for a Prismacolor sponsorship. This is from my first ever ceramics class. One of our assignments was to make a historical vessel. So we had to make a vessel that was at least 12 inches tall that was inspired by a vessel from any point in history, like before the 1800s or whatever. I chose an ancient Inca piece of pottery. This is how it turned out. It's massive, it's really heavy. I'm really happy with how it turned out because I was really working super hard on that project. And this is from one of my metals projects because I took metals and jewelry making. We did a pin that was held together by rivets, which was really cool. And so this was me iterating how it would go because I wanted it to be a moth that kind of mirrored my tattoo, the semicolons and everything. And I've got more notes from class. This is from the Miami Culture and Imagery Curriculum Workshop. It was really, really fascinating. Just took notes from that workshop. put this in here because I think it's nice to keep all of the information in one place. I won an award through the Ohio Art Education Association. I was the Pre-Service Art Educator of the Year. Woo! Got more stuff from medals because we explored our house a little bit. Then this is a doodle from class, which very bold, very bright. I like it. This is from a sponsored video with Ohuhu, and then I decided to put it in here because, I don't know, I just liked how it fit. And then this is from a sponsored video with Copic, and I really like how these turned out. This is all paint marker. Love the texture. I wish you guys could feel this through the screen, but I love the texture. And this is the eyeball print from the page from way back. I just ended up putting this here on top of some doodles. And then I ended up gluing this card in here that I ended up using as a marker tester card, but it was a card that we wrote to ourselves at the beginning of the semester in one of my classes. Then I wrote a bunch of different goals over here for 2025. I have this very nice shiny reflective page right here. I really loved how it reflected light, so I just glued it all in here and then wrote a quote from this post that I really liked. And I cut out some of the remnants here and put it here. More doodling. Then here I've got this little envelope that I can use to keep stuff like sticker sheets, a little card. We're almost done. And this little oil pastel beetle, more of that reflective paper. You can see I was really into the shiny stuff when I was making these pages. Really into it. Some more doodles. And then these are the lyrics to a parody that me and my friend Vic made of Red Wine Supernova by Chapel Roan. We made it about Minecraft. So, roll the clip.
He's in my server, pickaxe of gold. He bought me things like diamond ore. He mined it right there.
Down in my cave.
Scary cave noises, trying to be brave. He's in the strip mine, placing torches. Diamond chest plate and leather boots.
Steve.
Going out for obsidian, so watch out, that lava's hot.
Hot.
I fell in that lava scorching. Guess I didn't quite think it through.
Nah, Steve.
Burned to death, all my items gone. Starting over, no food, no cloud.
No.
Baby, why don't you come over? Hacking my whole server. Reporting you on Steam.
Get out of here.
Okay, Steve, let's pick it up now. I don't care that you're a griefer. Hacking my whole server. You are not my Steve. Trading all my ores that I mined
Myself.
for profit. Capitalist. You just told me that you have cheats on. I think that's cool cause I play on peaceful. At our home base waiting for ya. Guess I didn't quite make a roof.
Nah, Steve.
Struck by lightning, put in the grave. Starting over, no food, no clout. Baby, why don't you come over? Hacking my whole server. Reporting you on Steam.
Okay, y'all, let's pickaxe it now.
I don't care that you're a griefer. Hacking my whole server. You are not my Steve.
Well,
back
back
my house.
I've got a couple double chests.
Okay.
Maybe there's no anvil.
Or furnace.
Can't even make tools.
Well, I heard you're enchanting.
I've got some books and XP points.
So baby, let's get sharpness, no knockback. Let's make this mind get freaky. Baby, why don't you come over? Hacking my whole server. Reporting you on Steam. I don't care that you're a griefer. Hacking my whole server. You are not my Steve.
I sincerely hope you enjoyed watching that as much as we enjoyed making it.
Back here, we've got more stuff. So pictures, sweet note, and sent me a Pokemon card. And we've got the Mia ribbon work inspired bookmark that we made for a lesson that we taught to local 4th graders for art education. This is from my first ever gallery show. This was from my freshman year. And back here are just some cards that I keep that mean a lot to me. More stickers. And that's my sketchbook. So that is all I have for you today, but I really hope you enjoyed watching me flip through the sketchbook that took me over 2 years to finish. I am immensely proud of myself for actually sticking with this singular sketchbook for so long. And I'm also kind of scared to start a new one because I feel like I've gotten so used to this one, but hopefully the new one won't take me as long to finish because I'll be drawing more often. Thanks for watching. Bye.
My